So, in the Amazon, there's many different types of fish that many people know, such as the arapaima, the arowana, peacock bass, along with many others. But one that is very famous and popular is the piranha. It's probably one of the most famous fish, if not the most famous fish. So, before I start telling you about why they're misunderstood or some facts about the piranha, I should tell you what is a piranha. Well, piranhas are freshwater fish that are only found in South America. There's between 30 and 60 species, and it's very unclear which is a species because there's so many different ones, and usually the juveniles look different to the adults, so it's quite hard to distinguish a species from another species. I've done a small picture of the most famous piranha, the red belly piranha. They are the most famous one, and we can see they have a short face, red eyes, and a red belly. That's just the red belly piranha, which is the one that most people are familiar with. So I'm going to just check for some facts. So first I should probably mention, if this is a video about why piranhas are misunderstood, I should mention why. So piranha attacks are very rare, and when they do occur, of course very rarely, it's usually probably just one fish and just a few little nips or bites to the hands or legs. And they may be quite painful, but they're not life-threatening. Piranhas are in fact herbivores, so they eat a mixture of plants and meat. And most of their meat diet is just fish, crustaceans, snails, things like that. So it's not like they're going to jump out at you and start ripping your legs off. Or if you've like the cow, which I'll get into that in a moment. Piranhas have 20 teeth in their mouth, which are very sharp, and of course they can cause damage, but piranhas are omnivores and some are actually entirely herbivores. And they're actually scavengers, so probably unless you were dead and you jumped in the water somehow, they probably wouldn't really care, because they don't really have the power to bring down an adult human being that's still alive. Very long time ago, there was a type of piranha called the mega piranha, which could get 3 feet long and was massive. It was the biggest piranha ever. So, I've given you some piranha facts, but I still need to explain what I said in the title. Why are piranhas so misunderstood? So, probably most people today believe that piranhas are evil, scary, terrifying fish that will rip you to shreds. But this isn't true. And I'm going to tell you the story of how piranhas got such a bad name. And you'd be surprised who may have given this bad name. So, it starts in 1913. The former president of the United States of America, Theodore Roosevelt, he was going on a trip to the Amazon rainforest in Brazil. And the locals that lived in the area, of course, if you had the president of the United States of America coming to a small village, you'd probably want to put up a show or some sort of exciting event or something. So the locals decided a few days before Teddy Roosevelt arrived, they decided to net like a barrier in this sort of pond or a small river perhaps, and they caught some piranhas from somewhere else, and then they put them into their little enclosure, makeshift aquarium sort of thing. And then for days or even possibly weeks, they were starving those piranhas without feeding them. And then the day came that Theodore Roosevelt arrived in the Amazon rainforest, and the locals of this small village on the Amazon, they got They got a cow, a live cow, and they led it into the water with the piranhas. And then, since the piranhas had been starved for weeks and maybe even multiple weeks, maybe a month, and they just had to eat. So they just had to, what they did was they literally ripped all the meat off of the poor cow, and all there was left was the bones. And Theodore Roosevelt saw this and thought that they're perfect killing machines, and he was so amazed that he decided to write about it. So this is what he wrote in his thing. The head with its short muzzle, staring malignant eyes, and gaping, cruelly armed jaws is the embodiment of evil ferocity, and the actions of the fish exactly matched its looks. And then, of course, when he came back and all the citizens heard of these stories about the piranha, of course it was their president, so everyone thought that the piranha was an evil beast from then on. And this was not Theodore Roosevelt's fault. It was just, and neither was it the locals. It's just they wanted to put on a show for him because I'd say, as with most people, if the literal president was coming to your house. So, as always, make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.